Hail friends, welcome to the channel. Bob back here with some more Dungeons and Dragons online. Now I was hoping to bring you a bit more of, I'm level 6 at the moment, I was hoping to bring you a bit more of a account of my adventures, but you know, if you're an old friend of the channel, you know that my body is broken quite often to varying degrees. And yeah, I just haven't been able to do that. But today I'm not feeling so bad. So I'm going to do like a summary of my experiences from level 1 to 6. Might help some of you out. I'll try and point out some newbie things that I've learned and discovered. Yeah, and we'll see how we go. This is Stormreach Harbour. This is where you come to after the initial kind of like intro area. Is it Corfos? I can't remember what it's called. Yeah, after like the newbie intro section, after you've cleared that, which is worth doing actually. I really enjoyed it, and there's some sections particularly that were highlights that I was hoping to cover, but I couldn't. But I wanted to play the game, so I carried on. But hopefully, this video will give you some sort of idea of a summary of the game. Anyway, let's get in there. Now friends, welcome back to the channel again. So what I'll do is, it's not actually, I'm kind of finding it's not really important, but I'll cover what I'm currently doing with my character first. So I'm kind of going for the long game, essentially. I spoke a bit about past lives in a previous video, and that's essentially how I'm building my character. I kind of find that if you've watched my previous MMO videos, you'll know that I've got terrible altitis. Just keep re-rolling characters. But I don't kind of really feel the need to do it here, because the way I'm approaching it is kind of eventually I'll try everything anyway. You know, that's the... in case you're not sure of how past lives work, there are kind of epic ones up to level 30, but you're level to 20 and then you can reincarnate. So that level 21 character goes down to level 1. But you get a bonus, like a stat point or a feat, applied to that character permanently. And thanks to the advice from people, lots of advice I've had about building characters and how past lives and stuff work, you know, that I love the sound of it. And because at some point I'm going to try lots of different classes, it means that the kind of altitis thing is kind of simmering rather than boiling. What I decided to do first of all is just from advice from people, is to work on Constitution first. Constitution, I think, most people seem to agree that beyond your most important base stat for your class, Constitution is the next important one, because it's good for everyone, whether you're a caster or whatever you are. More con is good because it helps your saves and you get more hit points. And increasing your getting a bonus stat point for Constitution permanently for reincarnated characters, you need to level up as certain races. So Warforged and Dwarves are the racial reincarnations that you do to gain permanent stat points to your character. So I'm going to be leveling up as a Warforged. I'm trying an Artificer at the moment, which I'm quite enjoying, to level 20. So you reincarnate. I think you get a skill first of all. And then when you level up the second time, you then get a permanent constitutional stat point. You can then level up again, I think, for a racial enhancement point, which I think I will probably do, because it's just free enhancement points and you can't really knock that. So that's kind of how I'm building my character. Once I've finished with Warforged, I'll probably move on to Dwarf, because Dwarf again is another race that grants the ability of another permanent 1 Constitution. But the thing is, what I quite like about what I'm going to do is you don't need to play through as the same class every time. So I think I'm right in suggesting that when I reincarnate at level 20, I can then play a you can then play you can choose anything basically. So I'll play a Warforged, but I'll level through as a different class. Want to do cleric. I quite want to try dwarf and cleric. That always seemed to be quite appealing to me in Dungeons and Dragons. So I will do, I will do a dwarf cleric and then a dwarf something else, and then a dwarf something else to get the racial point. If I want to go that far, maybe I'll do that at a later date. But that's kind of how I'm doing it. You haven't got to do it that way. You can level to 30 with one class, one race, play the end game, do all that kind of stuff. But I'm kind of doing it this way because, yeah, it just feels it's just very interesting. And it's going to be quite interesting to be playing the different races and leveling them up and playing them with different classes and stuff. Some people have advised against it, some people have not. I'm still not sure if it's worth leveling to 30 first and then doing a double reincarnation. So at level 30 you can do like an epic reincarnation, which gives you a permanent bonus, and then you can go down to level 1 from there. I'll get to level 20 and see how I feel. If I'm really liking the Artificer, I might plod on to 30. A few people have said it's best just to get the racials and the classes and stuff done first, or the racials and iconics and that kind of thing, and then worry about the epic ones later. But I'm not sure. I'll see how I get on when I get to 20. It's not worth me going into my build, really. As I said, you know, I mean, you can see where I've put points. Skills, you know, I'm putting points in finding traps and unlocking things, and a bit into concentration, obviously, because I do cast some spells, spellcraft of it as well, from a spell point of view. Feats, I'm aiming at crossbow. Oops, where's my? So I've got a repeater. I love the repeater crossbows. They're awesome. I haven't got an upgraded one for a while, so my damage is maybe not as good as it could be. So I probably need to maybe build one. I've also dipped a little bit into crafting, and I've leveled my crafting up a bit, but I need to look at that again at some point. I'm not sure. What I've started to do is to bank items that I pick up for different classes that I'm thinking about playing in the future. I'm not sure if that's the best thing to do, because I would imagine, although it's random, I would imagine that by the time my dwarf cleric, for example, gets to level 6, you know, there would have been a lot of dropped items, and he probably would have got similar sort of stuff. I'm not sure if you're better off crafting crafting the equipment for your future life characters, just so that you get exactly what you want. Maybe that's the thing to do. But at the moment, I'm just playing through the game, doing the quests, enjoying them, and yeah. And from a quest point of view, the way I've done it is if you look on the map here, I don't know if you can see it, you can't scale the UI, which is just, you know, so archaic. But if you look around on the map, if you can see them, you get these chalices. The gold ones are the quests I haven't completed yet. The blue ones are the quests that I've completed. And yeah, the grey ones are quests that are open at the moment. And I'm about to go into one of those just to show you a quest. Bit of combat for the Artificer, that kind of thing. I do have myself a pet. As an Artificer, you get an Iron Defender. Someone said to me the pet's not very good, but actually from a combat point of view they're quite good. But from a combat point of view, they even like I'm doing all the quests on Elite. That's another thing. So you can go in and repeat the quests on different levels, and you get more experience for that. But so I don't get bored of the quests, what I'm doing is I'm going into the quests and I'm doing them all on Elite. So I'm a newbie player, first life, and I've pretty much been able to do all the quests on Elite. Is it Elite? Let's check. This is a quest that you do on normal. I'm not sure if that means it's like a main quest. But I've been doing all the quests on Elite without too many problems. I die occasionally. The things you die to more often than not are traps. You know, you just stumble into a trap, and I don't know if it's because I'm playing on Elite or not, but basically the trap just one-shots you, essentially. And I think that accounts for most of my deaths, are just traps. So I've been a bit more careful about traps. I have done all of the quests generally with an NPC companion, a fighter or a barbarian, so they just run into melee and hit things. And that's worked fine. As I said, like even as a new player on the first live character, I've been able to solo all the quests on elite to elite so far. The biggest problem I've had, as I said, was traps, but also mages. Sometimes I'll just get one shot by a mage, and I think it's probably because my saves are not very good. But you can adjust the difficulty level if you're having problems, or you're finding elite difficult. And I think what happens when you do a quest on elite is that you get a bonus. So if you just do it on elite, I think you get like a hard level bonus as well. I'm not sure if you get the same experience. I'm not sure if you get as much experience as you would from doing all the quests individually, all the difficulty levels individually. But as I said, so I don't get bored, I've been doing them on elite once, and then that's it. And I've been leveling up fine. So yeah, that's enough about that. Let's go and have a look at an adventure. Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. So here we go, let's go into the quest and have a look around. Yeah, as I said, I've been doing all the quests on elite so far, but this is some question, kind of private solo quests. I'm not sure if they're part of the main story or whatever, but we will go in and do it anyway. Oh wow, that's a jolly nice effect. I will summon my NPC companion anyway, Castinalia. She's my elven fighter companion. So let's go and have a look. Oh wow, this is really nice. I love the volumetrics and the lighting. I wonder if this is like a bigger quest. I probably won't go through the whole quest recording wise, but let's just chuck some buffs on myself. What I'm going to do before I start is I want to thank, if I can get the name right, I think it's Zavina, who is a member of a guild. I can't remember what guild it was, but she, as a new player, I was a new player, so she kind of bought me some potions, and took me to a guild airship. Guilds get airships that you can go to and fit out with NPCs and all sorts of stuff, and they're kind of like guild buffs, which I haven't got anymore. They've all gone. But it's a good part of being in a guild, I think. Really, you get guild buffs that last 4.5 hours or something, I think it was. So that was pretty awesome. So let's talk about the game in general. So I have got very few complaints so far with the game. I am loving the game, basically. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so this is an easy quest. I probably don't even need my companions here, but I don't think they affect your XP in any way, so yeah, not an issue. I'm loving the game. Everything about it, the atmosphere, the setting, obviously. Now, I'll just sidetrack slightly. One of the interesting things I found is the nostalgia is a big factor, but not in a way, in a sense that, yeah, I feel nostalgic. I remember this, but yeah, that's kind of really put my companions on aggro. Maybe I should turn it down a little bit. I just hope that my crossbow noise is not too annoying as I'm running around. Grizzix. Oh, it could be a lizard man or something. Let's go and check him out. Grizzix. Yeeg! You know hurt. Grizzix only servant. Keep torches lit for pink skins. I not bother you. About the hobgoblins. Sharg. I think that's who we're here to kill, isn't it? Use it against it. It sounds like my sort of plan. Okay. We'll do that. So let's get the map up. Okay, so that could be the second part of the quest, but we will go and have a look round. What you get as you're going around doing quests, let's not get sidetracked, you know, because very occasionally people moan about my videos, say that all I'm doing is just waffling and there's no point. So I'll try and keep on point. First of all, talking about the nostalgia. It is there, but in a good way. You know, it's sometimes the nostalgia can be, for a short time, it's like, yeah, I really like this. It's very nostalgic, but then you kind of lose that feeling. The frustrations of something old set in because you're used to something more modern. Let's stay up here. This is a lovely environment, by the way. And then the nostalgia wanes and you stop playing. But in this, nostalgia is in a good way. You know, as an old D&D player, just when you come across a monster, like I came across some wights the other day, and oh, hello, and like while you know, other fantasy games, whether it's a board game or a card game, computer game, whatever it may be, kind of have taken monsters from D&D and called them something else. There's something very nostalgic about seeing like a wight or a ghoul, or, you know, I fought ghoul priests and white, you know, whatevers, white dragons. No, that's not quite right. When I say white, I mean W-I-G-H-T, as I'm sure you're probably aware. So that nostalgia is there, but it's a good nostalgia. It's, oh my god, it's remembering those monsters and thinking, oh yeah, I remember when, you know, fantasy games had wights in and ghouls, whereas now other games have kind of taken them and they don't want to copy the names, I guess, so they call them something different. And just seeing, I mean, there's a whole menagerie of monsters, like a huge amount, and I keep seeing new monsters all the time. And this is a dead end, isn't it? I think, potentially, yeah. So nostalgia for seeing monsters, just like magical items, combat roles, all those kind of things are very strong. You know, and if you've been a fan of D&D for any length of time, I think you'll get a lot from that. I'm getting a lot from it, just wandering around, being nostalgic. With regards to the nostalgia, also you have to talk about the world. You know, recognisable names of places. You know, dungeons. I hear that there's like I think there's a Temple of Elemental Evil in it, which is just amazing. I'm playing in first person. I do that occasionally. Unless there's a particular combat or something that calls for something else. This is a massive environment. Normally I'm very OCD about how I explore. Like I'll always turn left. But we will... I think these guys were stealthed almost, it appeared, until they got quite close. Yeah, and I think there's a Temple of Elemental Evil that you can like as a quest, an adventure, whatever you want to call them. There's Ravenloft, as I said in a previous video, which I'm personally really looking forward to playing, because Ravenloft is a big favourite of mine. It's remembered. I've still got some Ravenloft role-playing stuff around somewhere, some books and a box pack, I think, probably. Okay. Not really showing you the combat here, but I'll do that because it's so easy. I'm killing everything so quickly. But I will do that at some point in future videos. I just wanted to give you an idea of the environments and talk a bit about the game. So yeah, nostalgia for the world and those classic adventures that you may have taken part in before. That's all there. You'll enjoy all that. From a gameplay point of view, like the Artificer I'm finding is quite basic at the moment. I don't have many spells. I'm sure that will change in the future. I'm a crossbow build, so I kind of shoot things very quickly. And yeah, and even on elite level, that's kind of been enough. And I'm enjoying it. You know, I get some buffs to supplement my combat. I don't feel like I'm wanting for anything, but I have been watching videos of other people play, and there are tactics. You know, particularly with certain classes. Oh, I can jump and shoot him. Even I couldn't reach him. Brilliant. You know, for certain classes, wizard. You know, wizard's got a huge amount of different spells to cast. Lots of crowd control and stuff. So I assume people talk a lot about crowd control, particularly later on in the game. So I'm assuming that is a thing that you need. But yeah, but Wizards got a lot of crowd control, as some of the other casters have. Yeah, so tactically from a combat point of view, I'm not experiencing that fully at the moment. Now, where does that go? Let's have a look at our dungeon. So there's 2 ways down. There was this. Let's go back to Griezix, because he gave us a quest. I should probably rebuff myself as well. I always forget that. Now, buffs don't last very long. Let's head on. Yeah, so from a combat point of view, I'm not really experiencing anything tactically particularly, you know, out of the blue at the moment, but I don't have a problem with that at all. Hello. I don't have a problem with that at all. You know, I think that it depends on the class you play, and I think as you go up in levels, things will change. I mean, don't get me wrong. You know, I did an adventure today on elite level. It was level 6 elite, my level, and it was a tricky dungeon. As I said before, I kind of find myself getting one-shotted by mages occasionally. But I think that's probably as much to do with my saving throws and stuff as anything else. I'm a new player. My equipment is very basic. I mean, I watched a video the other day of someone saying that someone kind of starting a new character from afresh to give new players an idea of how it worked. You know, but then they go on to say that they'd crafted themselves some starter gear and stuff. So, you know,
rough voiced conversation and bustling activity echoes from the halls to the north.
Okay. Lots of kobolds this way then, it would appear. Yeah, but so it wasn't really a newbie guide. It was, I'm starting again from level 1 with no past lives, I think, to be fair, but I have crafted myself some good equipment. So, you know, what equipment, what impact twinking yourself with equipment has on the game, I'm not sure. I imagine in the early game it probably works very well. As you go, oh, hello. I do have some different shots. I've got a poison shot, I've got a shot that lowers their armor class for a short period of time. As you can see, I got knocked down, so there is these guys have got quite a lot of hit points. So, you know, your opponents do use abilities to kill you with. The same abilities that you've got. And mages are... Yeah, mages are a thing. There's been numerous occasions where it's like, hold, dead. Or web, dead. You know, and I think that's probably to do with, as I said, I think that's probably to do with the fact that I'm playing everything on elite. Yeah, but I'm enjoying the combat, and I feel that there's a lot more to come for me from higher levels and different classes. Now, what I would say is that I would recommend playing it on elite, definitely. I found the other, even as a new player, I found the other difficulty levels just too easy. So I would. It's funny how I came into the lower dungeon there, and I was able to. I came into like a solo adventure, but then when I came down to this point, I was able to select elite again, which is quite interesting. Spot hidden. Okay, so I can probably check for something here. We will check that out. But just to recap, so I don't keep repeating myself. Combat, I'm enjoying it. I've probably got a lot more to come. And there are some tactics involved, as I said. And the mobs don't give you any quarter. As soon as they see you, they will use their abilities. And so potentially, yeah, on this difficulty level, you die quite quickly. So what I've done here, I've told my pets to stay where they are. This is maybe a little trick. Let's search first. Oh, hello. Let's look at these walls. So moving on to the dungeons themselves, what I was talking about, the thing that I was concerned about at the start, that was search, spot, open locks and stuff. It definitely is a thing. I mean, I've come across some instances where... there you go, I was able to turn the trap off. I've come across some instances where I couldn't progress. So sometimes if a door's locked, it might give you another option to get past that. You know, to get past that obstruction, but not always. And also there, I guess if I didn't have a very good search skill, which I've been putting points into every level. I might not have found that, so then, you know, the trap may have been more deadly. So search, unlocking doors and stuff. Oops, hello. Let's recall my a witch doctor. Doing quick. 2 witch doctors. Oh, that'd be good if you could be a witch doctor. Okay. The Sacred Helm. We've completed an optional quest about the Sacred. That was what the character that gave us the quest was talking about. Let's get up here. Come on. I wonder if my strength is better if I can't get up. No way. Is it slowly letting me get up? I don't think it is. Oh, maybe the waterfall is too much, and I'm unable to climb up. No, I'm slowly doing it. I wonder if your strength is higher if you go up here quicker. And if my strength was too low, I wonder if... oh, wow. Oh, there we go. I wonder if my strength was lower, I may not have been able to... what's going on? Oh, I'm weakened, that's why. And I'm overloaded, that's why. Okay, I didn't realise that. I'll wait for that to wear off then. There we go. Back to normal. I thought to myself, have I just got not enough strength to walk against this this waterfall there? But that wasn't the case. Yeah. So. Oh, hello. So. Oh, hello. We've got some spawning in dudes. So. Searching, spotting, finding traps and stuff. Unlocking doors, that kind of thing. It is a thing. I have come across some doors that I would not have been able to open in other instances if I didn't have the skill. As I said, sometimes the game gives you another option, but not all the time. I've found. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's how it seemed to me anyway. Maybe any more experienced players can, that must have been, I got a key, didn't I? So that must have been how I got through here. There we go. Let's rebuff. I'm not using like a... Artificer does have a... I do have an arm that I can charge up and it does damage. But to be honest with you, like a rune arm I think it's called, but to be perfectly honest with you, it's much better for me just to keep casting spells, essentially. I guess what I should be doing is charging it up, because when you charge it up it's kind of there all the time. So maybe the thing to do here is to use it as an opening attack. Yeah. And then carry on using the bow, just so you got like a bit of doesn't really do a huge amount of damage. I'm not that bothered, not at the moment anyway. Maybe it levels up at some point. Most of my enhancements that I've been leveling my character with are kind of centre around the crossbow. So that's basically what we've been doing. So just to recap again, after a bit more waffling, and that is that. I've found that, and I never found any adventure that I couldn't do, I don't think. But there were certainly things within the dungeon that I wouldn't have been able to do without a decent search, spot, and unlock skill. But I'll be playing as a caster at some point where I probably won't focus on those skills. So it'll be interesting to see how we get on when we do that. From a level design and a dungeon point of view, I've really enjoyed it. The quests are very varied as well. I mean, hello, was there something? So those two opened the door that was blocked. So should I be jumping down here? I've got a featherfall ring or something, which is awesome. I love that. That's brilliant. Where was the door that was locked? Was it down here? I'm not sure. I've got some boots that make me run faster as well, but they're run out of charges at the moment. So yeah, but the dungeon design is great, and the adventures themselves are really interesting. They're varied. Obviously, there's some repetition. Go and kill this, go and find this, and whatnot. But I do feel that the designers of, and I'm only playing through the vanilla game. I'm assuming that there are good adventure packs, expansions, and bad ones, but I'm assuming that to a certain extent things became more complex because this is just vanilla content, I'm assuming. But yeah, and also what's really good is the acting. The voice acting is really good. The writing and stuff also so far has been really good. So I was kind of trying to make this a balanced summary of my first 6 levels, but I'm finding it difficult to. There are some things that I will talk about that are a problem, but overall, there's a bloody ogre down there. Look. Oh, smokes! I pulled the ogre, and then we got side. Oh, wow, the ogre got a massive bow there. There we go. As I said, this is all quite. It's not very challenging. Slay ogre shaman, so you can't be a shaman in it. What you can be is a druid that turns into a bear. So for one of my lives, I'll definitely be trying that out. Okay. Oh, so this is all part of the acquiring the helm, Sharg's helm. Okay. Let's have a look. Yeah. So as I was saying, like the adventures are well written. The voice acting is great. The dungeon master adds another element. Which I really like. It really does make a huge difference, actually. I'm quite surprised that other, even MMOs, have not gone with that. There's a rest shrine that we don't really need at the moment, so we'll carry on adventuring. Yeah, I'm surprised that other games haven't decided to do it, because it really adds a lot to, I guess you say copying, but who cares if it's adding something to your game. Oops, I thought he was dead. He almost was. Yeah, if it's at. Sometimes your NPC companions run around like loonies, and I kind of think to myself, well, hang on a sec, have I been attacked from behind? Spot hidden. Yeah, so sometimes Spot will point stuff out to you. Okay. What did Spot point out? Let's try that again. No. Okay, well, let's move on. Some more Spot hidden here. I'm not playing very well actually here. I'd normally, go for the casters, kill the casters first. As you can see there, it's like sometimes my hirelings spot stuff that I don't spot. Oh, what were they? Well, wolves. Oh my god, there's a whole pack of them. Run away. I'm sure I could tank these quite easily. We're not, it's not too much of a problem. Oh no, I just died. Oh my god, I just died. Wow. Well, there you go. Now, let's talk about something that I don't like. When you die, what am I? Oh, I'm not quite dead. Oh, I've revived. Oh, that was close, guys, wasn't it? Holy smoke, I thought I was dead then, and you have to recall. Now, one of the things when you die, let's not get sidetracked. So, I'm carrying on pointing out the good bits. We've covered the story, the gameplay, the writing, some of the mechanics. That's the wrong way. Now, one thing that I have found, and it's quite disappointing, is that when you die properly, I don't quite know what killed me there. I died so quickly, but anyway. Okay, let's have a search. Okay, secret wall. I guess one of the nothing. There's not always something there. I do quite sometimes wonder what this is all about, but there you go. Having a hireling is quite good because it seems as though like the hireling is spotting stuff that I'm spotting. So maybe just having a hireling with you, maybe you could, I don't know, again, maybe a more experienced player could chip in, but maybe you could not take spot, save those skill points and just have a hireling and just, oh my god, a Minotaur Berserker. Look at that dude. Look at those axes. Those axes are awesome. I don't know what he was doing in the corner here. That was great. Yeah, maybe you could drop spot and just have a oh, I've got to kill 10 hobgoblin shamans. Look, bloody hell. Yeah, so the quests are really good because you do get optional quests as well. But maybe, yeah, as I said, maybe you could have a companion and not worry about spot. Use those skill points somewhere else. Let's have a little sneaky look up here. Little sneaky third person look. Holy smokes. That's a big climb. Yeah, so as I was saying, one of the things I don't like is when you die properly, you can either release back to your bind point, which is generally a tavern, or you can revive. So to revive, you can eat these. You can eat this cake that revives you. The cake costs some form of currency, and you can buy that currency for real money. And when you die, they really do kind of stick it in your face, as it were. When you close the window, it keeps popping up. So, hello. Yeah, so that the cash shop is kind of not forced on you. You know, let's not get carried away and get all, oh my god, cash shops are the worst thing in the whole world. You know, there is a cash shop, and when you die, they do. Okay, there's another one. Yeah, when you die, they do bring it front and centre. I mean, you don't kind of lose any progress, I found. So when you die, what you can do is just release back to your bind point. You're generally going to be questing near it, so you just run to it. But I think it's the fact that I can imagine that if you're in the dungeon at that point, you've come. Some dungeons are quite big. You've come a long way, and you think, oh, I don't want to release. You know, I just want to. I'm going to revive here, spend some cash, you know, and do it that way. No, I understand, you know, companies need to make money and stuff, but I would like it if they kind of just told you once and then moved on. You know, didn't keep pointing it out to you. Because it does feel as though, oh, you've just died. Why not revive? Yeah. Let's just search around here again. You get explosive barrels, which I guess I could have used for... I could have used that for tactically. Yeah, so there is a cash shop, but that's the only point I've seen where it's forced. Hang on. Did I just spot something fun there? Let's have a check. Hello. Is this just another way down, or is it going to allow me to access something that I couldn't just access? No, I don't think so. No, it just looked like another way down if you didn't want to take the ladder, I guess. Okay. So, yes, the cash shop, I would like it if they didn't just bung that in your face. Rub it in your face when you die. You know, but you just got to, just if it's a problem for you, just don't be tempted. You know, just move on, release, run back to your adventure point. When you come into the dungeon, you start at the beginning of the dungeon, but the dungeon doesn't reset. You know, so you are. Oh, my little dude's dead. I think we'll leave him for dead now. It can be quite annoying sometimes. A couple of tricks that I've found. Well, a couple of things to point out. I've kind of had a problem with this myself sometimes. Is that to summon up your companion or your NPC companion, you need to be at the beginning of the dungeon generally. So don't forget that. Oh, another cleric. So they're classing the clerics as shamans as well. So that's fair enough. Yeah. I've run into a long dungeon before. Well, actually, what I've done is I've died and I've run back into quite a long dungeon. Got back to where I was going, and I forgot to do my hiling, so I had to run back again. Assuming that you want your hiling or you need it, you know, I guess that's the thing. The other thing as well is that you can, like, sometimes like your companions will just run into traps. They don't care. What you can do is you can tell your companion to hold. Oh, hello. Move yourself past the trap. Let's kill these guys. Oh, another cleric. Okay. Let's just clear this corridor out. There we go. Yeah. So what you can do is make your companions hold. You can maneuver yourself past the traps, and then you can kind of you can just recall your companion basically to you after you've gone through the traps. That's the thing that I find the safest thing to do. Otherwise, they will die. What have we got up here? I did an amazing quest chain that involved a demon possession for a female NPC, and it was I really enjoyed it. It was really good. It took place in like a catacombs in a monastery, and it was just the atmosphere, like that fantasy kind of D&D atmosphere was absolutely off the scale. Yeah, it was amazing. Oh, hello. Let's just kill these dudes. There we go. There's a lot of them. Holy smokes. I'm not sure if you actually need to acquire the helm to finish the quest. I think this might just... I'm not sure if this was just an optional part. This is the first time I have done the quest. So, yeah. Let's have a little sneak around. Two of your hobgoblin shamans left. And that's it. Oh, hello. They're down there. So I think we're about to... Yeah, I don't even know if you need to do this part of the quest. That would be interesting. I was just talking about something important, and now I've lost my train of thought. And this video has been quite long anyway. But let's just try and cover a few things. Anything else I need to talk about? Not really. No, I mean, at the moment I'm enjoying it. Oh, yeah, I was saying about the app, like I was doing this quest. Yeah, and the fantasy kind of D&D. Oh, hello, that cleric's got a... Is that flame strike that cleric had there? Holy smokes! I think that. I've also heard about. Okay, let's recall. You stand there. I've also heard about tactics like, I think this guy just died to the trap. I've also heard tactics of people hello. Yeah, like luring monsters onto traps and stuff. Oh, that was brave. I didn't have many hit points there, and I probably should have checked to make sure there were no traps. But anyway. Oh, there is. Ouch. Yeah, traps. I guess it's a difficulty level. But traps do a lot of damage. You can avoid this stuff if you're playing a bit more careful. Basically, anywhere there's a skull or a face on a wall or somewhere, there's a high probability that there's going to be a trap. That's the way I found it anyway. Oh, wow, I got hit then. That could have been... I really could have died there. Let's just heal myself up. Yes, as I was saying, sorry, I keep getting sidetracked, but the fantasy D&D immersion atmosphere is off the scale. This quest was amazing. The monsters in it, the writing, the acting, it was really, really good. There we go. There's a few more. I'm not sure what my companion's doing. He does seem to be... You are incapacitated. I think my... No hiling. Don't go off fighting monsters. Come back here. So I'm not dead. Oh, she's going to... No, okay, so I managed to revive myself. I don't know how I got hit there. But that was lucky again. Like, I'm pretty good against physical traps. If it's a magic trap, it's a one-shot, basically. That's generally how it works for me. Let's go around here. Oh, bloody hell, I nearly did it again. My companion decided to run off and fight something. Ah, I missed what it was. Whatever it was big. Okay, this is going to be a bit of a longer video, but I think we're getting close now to... I feel we're getting close to completing the quest. I do have a heal spell. It's like a cure light wounds for constructs, repair light damage. Oh, let's use this restaurant, and then I can just finish the video up shortly. We'll get Shark's helm, and then we'll end the video. So yes, so overall I'm loving the game. It scratches a kind of like a Dungeons and Dragons like fantasy itch, like really strongly. Everything, you know, I'm glad I just remembered what I was going to say, because before I started doing the video I was going to compare it to another game. This game feels very, not the combat particularly, but this game feels very much like... Oh, hello. Oh, did I? Oh. This game feels very much like Dragon Age, and I mean that only in an amazing way. It's like a Dragon Age MMO. Oh my god, there's loads of them. that might have been a mistake. Let's buff myself. Why can't I hit this guy? Grand Duel, these hardcore. Oh, and I'm out of ammo. Great. I'm not sure if strafing helps, but that's what I'm doing. Whew. Holy smokes. I thought I was going to die there. There were so many of them. Okay, we still... So maybe this is where... As I said, level design is really good. I love it. It really scratches that D&D fantasy itch, as I said. I don't think I have too much else to say, other than... Shark's helm. There we go. I can even wear it myself. Ah, jeez. Okay. What can we drop? There's certain quests I need to do. I saw a video recently that said powdered blood. I saw a video that was telling, it said like, because the other thing that I should mention as well is that the all of the adventure packs are free at the moment, so you can play the game for free if you get in the game soon. I mean, I've actually subscribed to VIP because I'm someone who strongly believes that if you play a game you should pay something towards it, you know. So I'm done VIP, but all of the quests and stuff I've leveled on so far is a free to play stuff. Light crossbow. I need to upgrade my armour, but I'm not really getting any quest things that are any good particularly. Let's take another repeating bow, even though all my slots are full. What's this? Let's just use that because I need some room. There we go. So we've got the helm. I'm not quite sure what we... Oh, jeez. I'm not quite sure what we use that for. Maybe it protects us from Sharg. Or maybe we can do a deal with him. Who knows? So I guess these guys have looked like they've respawned. But this is the normal difficulty section, so really not a problem. Anyway, guys, I'm going to finish the video here because this has been going on for a long time. But levels 1 to 6, I'm thoroughly enjoying the game. Just before I finish, I do just want to say about the Dragon Age. Like, there are some outdoor areas where you go out into like a zone, as it were, and run around. And there are quests and tasks to do there. Like kill this many monsters, find this many locations, that kind of thing. So you've got that to it as well. So I've really found it to be almost like an MMO version of Dragon Age, which is high praise in my opinion. Some of the writing and stories have been that good. So yeah, I'm going to stop now. But awesome, more videos coming.